By focusing on growth as a fundamental and critical component, we can better determine which job is the better choice. In other words, for us it's, does this job allow me to accumulate more capabilities? But this is one of many options available on your journey. Next we'll let you know, if you want to go with the former, expect that it will take more patience. Deciders need to choose between two options, for example value or valuation. The ultimate decision is up to you. Pay attention to value and ignore valuation. Just like stocks, everyone also has a valuation and real value given to you by the market. You can know by simple analogy. It is difficult for outsiders to accurately know your value. You might think you are inherently valuable, but your value is determined by the market. It's just like stocks. The market determines our worth every day. In the market, you're only worth as much as others value your work. That can't fully show your true worth. Sometimes overvalued, sometimes undervalued, and sometimes extremely overpriced. I will admit that occasionally valuations and values cross. The rare event is not intentional. As for your own self-worth, Dalio, the boss of Bridgewater Capital, suggests this. Don't let yourself overvalue yourself too much. This makes sense. If there is only one transaction, then the higher the valuation, the better. But if it is destined to trade multiple times, then the situation is different. But in fact, the road is long. Most people look at transactions as the beginning and the end of an experience, but for most, they are just one detail in what might be a very long journey. Therefore, every time I want to trade at a valuation greater than the value is completely impossible. More importantly, there is another aspect. Because when you care about valuation, you forget your value, and you can't help but do things that increase your value instead of finding ways to increase your valuation. In the long term, the valuation is illusory. There's a lot of volatility, but then again, there's a lot of room for you to grow for the long haul. If the value does not grow, the valuation will not grow in the long run, and since there is an extreme overvaluation, it will not only be underestimated at any time, and there will always be extreme underestimation. It is stupid to focus on values instead of valuation. In the pursuit of valuation, regardless of value, is basically choosing to be a liar. Doing things that pursue valuation regardless of value, such as getting a higher salary in the short term through frequent job hopping, is deceiving others as well as yourself. Doing something once and deceiving people at least twice has serious consequences. Not just deceive others, if you deceive yourself without knowing it, that's even more stupid. But there are still many people who do this, and it becomes a habit, because the short-term benefits of cheating always outweigh the negatives. After a long time, this habit is almost impossible to eradicate. But on the other hand, all deceptions are short-lived, and there will be a day when the truth will be revealed. From this point of view, the advice given by Bridgewater's Dario is really wise. Rule 3: Patience is more important than anything else. The power of patience is equivalent to the compound interest effect in trading, and it will definitely show through the compound interest effect. Sadly, patience is something that is not taught in school. A lot of people don't get to achieve financial freedom for their lack of patience. People who are impatient are more likely to choose terminal thinking. They hope to finish tasks faster, see results sooner, and then devote the rest of their time to the world they imagined. Impatient people will not have good accumulation. They will not do everything as their own. Impatient people of course pay more attention to valuation, and are even willing to deceive themselves and others for it, because they don't think about the long-term benefits, because they're impatient or prefer instant gratification to value. The most common thing they say is this: isn't it annoying to think so much? There are many people who will make excuses for their lack of patience. I don't like what I'm doing now, and then there will be problems, until I do the thing that really intrigues/captivates me. But whether you think about it with experience, you'll find that this is the normal state of almost everyone, who can't do what they like at the moment. As such a time becomes longer, the more patience is needed, and the reason why patience is valuable can be summed up in this. Religion says that you must use faith when you cannot see it. It is objectively a bad decision to give up hope of improving your appearance with time and effort. Everyone is not born with excellent conditions in a certain field. This should not be the reason why you are impatient. If not, then it is the equivalent of being an unthinking marionette. You can only be as great as your hand allows you to be. It's wiser to use the power of your mind to keep telling yourself that the difficult stages are just the way to go, and that's what patience is all about. This brings us to the second half of this excuse. Even if you finally enter the so-called field you like at a very high cost, you will never be able to achieve the kind of efficiency and experience that you had imagined. Unfortunately, many people eventually lose patience with things because they lose patience with their inefficient self first. On your road to financial freedom, mastering the ability to regulate the pace of things is also crucial, and we will detail this and other abilities in the following content. Now, you have not only recognized the true definition of financial freedom, but also made some preparations. Understand the bottom line of time trading, the 3 rules. Soon you will also know what the other part of preparation, the trading rules, strategies that are most beneficial to you, is and how to do it. I want to remind you that the bottom line and the strategy must work together in order for them to be successful. You will really master time trading by understanding the bottom line and strategy, and then you will find that there is no secret here. Although this idea, that we'll call the principle, is pretty well known, it's only really embraced and practiced by a small group of people. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumb up and share with your friend. Thank you for watching.